Alright guys, well, if you did not already have enough proof that I am completely and utterly insane / mentally unstable, here is your next perfect example. Now, this is probably not the video that most people were expecting to come up next. I have a feeling most people were expecting probably something like the Cyclone XT, but I have a little bit of a surprise for you. Now, if you're watching this later, I'll probably have already changed the title to what it is, so you will more than likely already know what we're going to be looking at. If you are early, surprise, I guess. So, I just got this. It was actually supposed to be delivered direct to the house, but they delivered it a day early. Only good thing is I am off this day, so I have both the time to pick it up from the post office and the time to make an unboxing video of it. Now, this machine, I really have to give a shout out to the seller too. I'm sure they will never see this. Let me just check this camera angle and see how much you can actually see. Not a whole ton. Let's move you up just a tiny bit more. God, this tripod is terrible. But they did a great job in packaging this machine. I reached out to them shortly after I won this item off of eBay to say, hey, would you mind terribly packing it in an additional box? Because I would really like to have the outer box protected. And they said, yeah, no problem, I'm already planning on that. Cut from this certain end, I'll have it marked on the box so you won't cut into it. So awesome, awesome, awesome seller. I really appreciated that because a lot of people, as I think most people have seen from other YouTubers and especially iBasiac's experiences, there are a lot of shitty eBay sellers. Like a lot. So, I'm going to get this out of here and show you. You might have a jump cut depending on how much is kind of seen from this view. You might not. Okay. Let's see if I can actually get this off without hitting the fan. And it looks like, yes, that did happen. So, here we are. Now I'm actually going to pull you off the tripod here before I even flip this box around, because there are a couple things that I want to show. So, this is the new in-box Thunder that was on eBay. So, if anybody was wondering who actually ended up winning this, hi, that's my crazy ass. So, what I wanted to show while I was down here is just basically who this got shipped to and everything like this, just for a matter of accuracy. So, the other one that I have, it's technically not a Thunder. It's the pre-Thunder, technically not a domestic model, when it was just really the Fantom vacuum. So that one went to Montgomery Ward, I think it was. This one went to Ames, which is interesting. I did not know that Ames actually sold Fantom, so that is very interesting to find out. And then we've got the Fantom Technologies, address, trademark, printed in Canada, product of Canada, produced in Canada, blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff. So I'm going to put you back on the tripod. You can take a look here. And we'll get this right side up. And get this guy all opened up. Now, the interesting thing is this machine says it has multi-purpose cleaning tool. That I did not actually notice on the sticker when I was bidding on it and when I viewed the listing. I did see the convenience kit. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what this multi-purpose cleaning tool is. We'll kind of have to see precisely what that is. Now, the only thing that is a little disconcerting to me about this is it looks like the staples, I'm not sure how well this will be lined up, there were staples on the top here. They have been removed. So we'll see if this is actually truly new in box or if it was turned on and then put back, because it does look like those were removed. And on top of that, this was retaped. So that does not necessarily bode well for us. Oh yeah, no, this looks like it's new. It looks pretty much perfect on the inside. I don't know how much you'll actually be able to see, but like the plastic has packing dust on it, but that is really about it. Doesn't look like anybody's even touched the machine. It doesn't have fingerprints on it. It doesn't have scuffs on it, and I think anybody that knows Fantom knows how easily this gloss black plastic scuffs. So this is a brand new Thunder. So you can see down here farther, it does have some scuffs from packaging, but like if you take a look inside this Cyclone here, there's absolutely nothing. Like this has never been used. I think anybody who has touched Fantom kind of knows exactly how quickly those get scuffed, or a Dyson, or most bagless machines, really. So, please excuse the poor camera view. I'm just going to lift that off of the cardboard transport tray here. And then it appears that what they are referring to, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, as that multi-purpose tool is actually what they referred to at one point with the Fury as a pet hair tool, the Fantom pet hair tool. So that would be what that multi-purpose tool is, which is nice to have. So what I'm going to do is we'll click this handle in real quick. Again, my apologies for the terrible angles of this. I'm going to have to put you down, so I will stop and be right back, because this is not a good angle and not easy to do with a camera in my hand. Alright, so this is a new in-box Fantom Thunder in all its glory. I forgot how tight the fitment of the wand into the hose cuff is on these machines. Now, the interesting thing that I'm noticing is this apparently does not come this late in the run with the kind of Fantom introductional video like the, I guess, non-Thunder Thunders would have come with. So it does not have that. Basically, it just has the paper manuals, it has that convenience kit, and then the tools in the pack-in. But now this is the most insane thing to me about this is anybody who's ever used a Thunder there's a little carry handle right here, and it's padded on the inside. Now, most of these, the padding is either it's worn away, it's crumpled up, pushed kind of out of place of where it should be because of just use over time. This guy, it's perfect. And then underneath here, we've got a brush roll that spins perfectly, has never seen use. Motor spins freely. These wheels, I've never seen Fantom wheels that look like this, or the bottom of a Fantom Thunder that looks like this. That's just insane. Absolutely insane. Alrighty. And the other thing that I just cannot get over is how perfectly crystal clear this bin is. I mean, that's absolutely insane. A shroud that doesn't have broken or deteriorating holes in it. A brand new, genuine HEPA filter in there, and no slats that are broken on the filter housing. Alright, let's see if I can get this in here. There we go. Or not. We might have to reposition that. But, I mean, this is just amazing. It does have some box wear, but I mean, again, it's been sitting in that box for, well, actually, let's see here. I'm going to zoom in on this, and I think you guys should be able to see that perfectly. So, this machine has a date code of 0032, so I would assume that means the 32nd week of 2000. So this is not incredibly late. It's not one of the very last Fantoms, but I mean, this is getting very late in production when you consider when they went to the crosswind machines, when they filed for bankruptcy, everything like that. And then you've got just all these stickers intact that are perfectly. I'm just kind of blown away. I mean, obviously it's new in box, you kind of know what you're getting into, but until you see it in person, it's very different. So this one is serial number 100448, model number TH46903. 12 amps, made in Canada. So, that's just astounding to me. I like the quirk of the machines that have like the gray or white, depending on how you define that, bumpers and hoses, but at the same time, I understand why they went to all black. It really does look incredibly just sleek overall, and then just the slight purple, I guess you would consider that purple accent of the bin there. Let's just pull this guy. Brand new HEPA, and this kind of has the same purplish hue to the plastic. I'm not sure how well that'll show on camera, as kind of like the headlight lens in the canister. Let's hope this will focus. I'm going to set this here. Now the interesting thing is, this Hermes Corporation is really not all that far from where I am, to be honest with you. It's not exactly close, but it's not very far either. Stowe, Ohio, on Steele's Corners Road. I wonder if it's still there. That would really be my question. May 30th, 2000 is the date on the filter. interesting. The one thing that I always have found interesting is the fact that Fantom actually went a little bit above the minimum HEPA filtration standard, which is 99.97% of particles at 0.3 microns, and they actually went with filtration efficiency of 99.9. But I'm still kind of in shock. I'll put it this way, what this machine went for, I think is a little bit insane. My kind of initial thought was, oh, maybe it'll go for like 800, 1,000, and I was fairly fine with that. I thought that would have been relatively reasonable, if not still a little bit high. And that was kind of going to be my max, and it pretty quickly soared above that. There were a lot more people bidding on this than I had kind of originally thought there would be. I got very lucky on the previous new in-box machine because the seller had it listed as buy it now. I saw it very early, and the second I saw it, I clicked buy. So that was really a steal. This, there was a period in time where I didn't think I was actually going to get it. So it's a little surreal to have it here. To be honest, I don't think I ever would have spent this much normally, but the week preceding this purchase, 2 weeks really preceding this purchase, were very much not good weeks, and I kind of just wanted a victory, so here it is. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut the video here. I'm going to get this guy plugged in, and well, actually, I'll wait to plug it in until I've got the camera running in case it's in the on position and it turns on, and we'll kind of catch it from there. But I'm going to grab the kind of accessory pack that has the manual and all that stuff in it. We'll take a look at that and go from there. Alright, well, here we are. So, here are the tools. It's very, very odd to see Fantom tools not, like, absolutely beat. Like, the brushes on this are perfect. Other than, actually looks like some of them were melted from the factory. I don't know how well that will show on camera. But outside of that, no scuffs on this floor tool. I mean, it's just, you get so used to seeing machines a certain way and tools and things like that looking a certain way, and it just kind of is a shock to the system, at least to me personally, to see it a little bit different. Now, the one thing that I noticed that I found was a little bit odd, and it's been a really long time, so somebody can correct me on this, but I feel like at one point, maybe it wasn't on the Thunder, maybe it was only on the Fury, but I feel like they had a tool, like almost caddy extender, that would allow you to carry this pet hair tool on board the machine. Maybe that never came with the Thunders, or maybe it was with a different pack in, but I feel like that existed at some point. Again, maybe it was just the Fury, because I think that's when this tool really debuted, was on the Fury. You can see it in the Fury infomercial as the pet hair tool, and I understand why, because those bristles are very stiff. This is the convenience pack. Now, I'm a little bit sad. They actually had a retail version of these convenience packs that kind of like matched the Fantom boxes at the time. So I was hoping for that. Unfortunately, it's just plain plastic. It is what it is. God knows those belts are not good. The bulbs might be, but the belts, I'm sure, are shot. Although the bag is still air sealed, so maybe, but I wouldn't hold too much hope. So I believe most people have probably seen these or seen some variant of these. I have in my dealings. I don't know if everybody has, but I feel like probably quite a few people have. So this is the whole, don't return it to the store if you have issues. Give us a call. I always have found it interesting that their email was wecare@fantom.com. And then you've got, same thing on the other side, looks like French and Spanish, as well as how and where to install. Okay, so I'm not losing my mind. So for whatever reason, this is that kind of extender that I was talking about that allows you to store both the dusting brush and pet hair tool on the same piece. So they literally give you a little info brochure showing it. They just didn't include it with this one, which I find very odd. I don't know if that's a packing error. I don't know. It's not like it's been taken out, because obviously the bag that everything was in was sealed. Here is the info, kind of explaining what a HEPA filter does, which I think that's a little bit wild to most people anymore. Kind of everybody knows what a HEPA filter is, or at least has an idea. An interesting thing, if you can see, that's actually an 11 amp Thunder on this piece of paper. Oh. So I've never seen this before on the scans or on manuals that I've actually had my hands on. For a free how to use for your new Fantom vacuum, call Fantom Technologies. Interesting. Well, not going to be able to do that anymore. I believe that this is, I don't think they ever updated this. I think it's the one that's already online that people have uploaded. That's just for the original Fantom, basically what came in with the first machine. Here's the owner registration form. Cleaning force of 2 cyclones devours dirt. Any questions, just call the Fantom toll-free helpline. So, here's all this. 2-year warranty, excluding normal wear parts. The thing I always have found interesting is how little they actually updated this stuff, which the machines were functionally the same, but they just never really updated the diagrams or anything. Like, they have, so they say, they're talking about the cord retainer clip, which some of the machines had. This one does not. It's not on the machine, it's not in the box. And again, everything's sealed. So, I mean, not every company revises things in their manuals very often, but I just have always found it interesting that, I mean, you're talking, I think at least 10 or 11 years that the Thunder or one of its other variations were running, and they just never really changed anything in terms of the manual, never uploaded it, never. Now this is interesting because I have seen Thunders that have an actual reset button. In fact, I think, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong because it has been so incredibly long, but I think my original Thunder, the first one I ever got, does have a proper overheat reset button. This does not, and most of the Fantoms do not. And this one just talks about it is self-resetting. Here's the HEPA filter info. Here's the reorder form. excuse me. Now, the thing that I really do find interesting about this is it specifically says on this order form, it calls the tool that's included with this what they call the, what was it, multi-purpose tool on the box. They specifically call it pet hair upholstery tool, which is what I know it as from the Fury. And it even says holster and holster that is supposed to hold it on. Why this does not have it, I do not know. The other interesting thing is they have the comfort grip listed on here. And I've seen so few of those to the point where I didn't even know they existed until I saw one on eBay and ordered it in like a parts listing, that I'm very shocked it actually made it this long to the actual Thunders and this late in the game. That's basically it. Printed in Canada, copyright 1999, Fantom Technologies. The interesting thing that I found from work is, and I'm sure this is just a like commercial distribution center or something, but this Sunwheel Drive, Buffalo, New York, it's probably like a kind of industrial park area. But if you order, I don't know about normal Dysons, if you order refurb Dysons from like Dyson on eBay, they have an address in that same area from what I remember. So I did find that highly interesting. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to make one more quick cut. I'm going to get this stuff kind of back in the bag and out of the way, and I'll actually put the tools on. Why not? And then we'll get on it. Alright. You guys are back on the tripod. Put the attachments on because why not? Honestly. One other interesting thing that I noticed is, and maybe it's just that I haven't paid close attention, but with the early Fantoms, the HEPA filter casing, since it was originally optional, just snapped right on and off. This one actually has a screw. It has a molded, there's a molded piece on the body that it screws into, and I don't ever recall seeing that before. Everyone in my experience that I've dealt with before has just popped straight on or off. So I'm wondering really... Well, I'm glad that was running because it is on. Okay. So that's off now. My apologies if you can't really hear all that well. I'm a decent bit behind the camera. But what I was saying and what I'm getting at is I truly wonder how many small revisions and differences and changes between different Fantom models there are that aren't really properly documented all that well, just because sometimes they're not documented in manuals. There really aren't that many Fantoms out there left that people have their hands on, so how many different revisions are there in small, minute ways that just aren't caught? I mean, even this one, for example, if you take a look at the box, because I was looking at that earlier, and I'll put up some pictures from the listing in this video, or link to the listing, one of the two. The box actually says that it comes with the how-to video. So it was supposed to come with it, according to the box. When you get in, though, it obviously doesn't have it, and Fantom themselves tell you, hey, if you want it, give us a call, we'll send it to you for free. So I do find that interesting, because it's literally right on the box. Right where it says plus at the bottom, up above as seen on TV logo, it's right there. So, let's see what exactly is the story with this machine. Headlights work perfectly. One thing I'm actually surprised by versus my experience with Thunders in the past is the amount of tool suction this machine actually has. Now, I'm not sure if that's just due to this is the 12 amp last revision. It's not filled with dust and dirt that's reducing performance. You know, the hose isn't cracked or leaking anywhere. I guess changeover would be the best way to put it. Flap and everything like that for the hose is in good condition, and it's making, you know, the best possible seal. But I wasn't even sure if this canister was sealed all the way properly, but it is before. But I'm really shocked, actually, at the amount of tool suction this actually has, because I'm generally used to, and I think most people would agree, most of the Fantom uprights are not all that great on tool suction. They're not poor, they're not as bad as something like an Elite or another direct air machine that has tools on it, but they're not great. It's more like light dusting that I would recommend most of those for. It's passable, but it's nothing special. So, motor sounds perfect, lights work, belt has enough tension to properly turn the brush roll, at least with no friction on it, because I can actually hear it turning. Let's see. I can't actually stop that with my hand. Which, if anybody has tested out a clutch Dyson to see if the belts were bad with their hand, you know how easy it can be to stop something. God, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is an amazingly clean and defined click. Normally those get sloppy over the years and they don't really do much. So, I just want to put this against the carpet and see. But actually, let me do something first. This has gotten kind of messy, and really the only thing that's been cleaning has been my Roomba i7, or i8 technically. Let me grab another vacuum. I'm going to clean this floor real quick, and we're going to go back over it with the Fantom and just run it. I don't really want to get dirt in this. I don't really want to run it for long, but I do want to see what it's like. Alright, so didn't exactly take 3 hours to clean this, but I did want to try and get up as much dirt as possible, so I actually cleaned with 2 separate machines. So one is the Clear Track, which you'll see over there in the back, or Workhorse, depending on what you call it. I felt that was fitting, considering its relation to these in a way. Other thing I cleaned with was my Avalier. So, these carpets should be fairly clean, which I'm glad I did. I had used Capture a little while back in this area to clean up some spots, and there was still a little bit more coming up that had kind of worked its way loose over time that came up in the Workhorse that I could see. So I am glad about that. Let's see if this actually works. That belt probably will just stall straight out, but who knows. Okay, so most shocking thing, it did not. So, apparently 20-year-old, 21-year-old, may as well say, Fantom belts still work? Yeah. Now, it did get like a tiny, tiny bit of dust, which I will be wiping out of there. But I think most of that is actually packing cardboard material that was stuck to the brush roll, but there is a little bit of kind of actual grit that was down in there, but that really kind of blows me away, that that belt is actually still apparently fine relatively to run that belt, or to run that brush rather. So yeah, that's kind of it. Here's that portion on the box I was talking about earlier about how it has the how-to video included. And we'll just go around. Devours dirt from carpets, reach high places, cleans stairs, certified HEPA air filter, Fantom patented dual cyclonic technology, no bags ever. No bags means 100% cleaning power 100% of the time, 12 amps of incredible power, large bin capacity, 2 machines in one. The cleaning force of 2 cyclones devours dirt. And here's that multi-purpose cleaning tool and convenience kit. Which again, I just find that really odd, like it's a pet hair tool. You always called it a pet hair tool. The order form calls it a pet hair tool. Like, why? Why? And the interesting thing is, that looks like a Fantom part number. This is actually a sticker that goes over the box. Part of me wonders if they were just clearancing out and trying to get rid of those pet hair tools because they didn't actually sell. And this is what happened, because yeah, that's a sticker that just is slapped over the box in a area that they deem it to be not important, which I mean it technically isn't, because you have both of these duplicated on the other side. But yeah, that is a new in-box Thunder. I never thought, to be honest, that I would be unboxing another new in-box Fantom. What I will say is, with the numbers of these original machines produced, or original body style platform, however you want to call it, whether you're talking about the domestic, the commercial, the original Fantom machine, these as Thunders in their many revisions, you know, these are probably what is most likely to come up new in box, or things like that Fantom capture machine that I found that just rarely get used, or somebody buys on a whim going, I would like to clean my own carpets. I really hope one day, I don't know that it'll ever happen, my holy grail would to be able to be finding a Lightning new in box. I would absolutely love that. I got really lucky to find a Lightning that I still have to make a video about one day, but that basically is in very, very good condition. It had all the parts with it, like all the optional stuff that you got from the infomercial, but that would really be holy grail for me, would to be find. I would love to have new in box of everything, but I just don't think this many years out that's a necessary possibility. I don't really ever think I'll be able to get my hands on like the Westinghouse series of machines, which I would also like. I finally managed to track down a Crosswind. I had bought one a long time ago. The guy removed the listing right after I bought it, said, you know, not available, then jacked the price way up, and I don't think it ever sold. But I'm really kind of shocked and amazed that I managed to be able to win this and get my hands on it. One thing I will say, I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me opening it and, you know, thinking, oh, you ruined it, you just did the worst possible thing, it has no value now, it's been turned on. I've never been somebody who leaves things in the box. The only way I'll leave something in the box is if I can buy 2 of them, and I can have one to open and use, and I can have another to just leave in the box. And trust me, if I had the money and I had the opportunity to do that with something like this, I would. But a lot more of the value in something like this, to me, is getting the experience of being able to open and turn on a brand new Fantom, which is something that I never got to actually have when Fantom was around. So that is priceless to me. There's, you know, there's no value that I can place on that. I still think I paid too much for this machine. I absolutely love it. I still will always think I paid too much, but at the same time, it is in a way worth it, and I'm very glad to be able to have it. So if you guys have any questions, anything like that, as always, you know, leave me a comment, and we'll kind of go from there. But for now, this guy is going to be the same exact thing as kind of the other NIB Fantom that I have. I'm going to disassemble it, put it back in the box. It may make it out on, you know, rare occasions, but other than that, it will have a life of very, very low use. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. And hopefully before long I'll be back soon with another video. I've been really trying to get back into this. I do enjoy making videos and editing, but I just have not, unfortunately, had the time in life to do it very much as of late. So hopefully you'll see me again very soon.